Well damn guys, it's been quite a while since I last made a video, about 48 hours. And well, shit went down really quickly, didn't it, during those 48 hours. And well, basically, apart from all the crap that went on Twitter, you know, getting blocked because of Tay-Tay, somebody didn't like me disliking Tay-Tay, you know who you are, and some other drama type shit. And also, I've got a new job, so I've been working, and because it's my first week, I'm absolutely exhausted. At the end of that week, though, I've since recovered. And really, I just didn't have enough time to do videos towards the end of my shifts. So here I am on my break, and now I get to make a video for you guys. I've got 2 days off. So what better way to start than talking about vegans? Now look, apart from cannibalism, I don't care what you eat, how you eat it, and in most cases, how you get that food in the first place. If it's legal, that's fine. If it's illegal, I'm gonna have an issue. Now, it used to be back in the day that people like vegetarians were the ones that had the stereotype of basically trying to force meat eaters and everybody in between, like pescatarians, to just go straight to vegetarian and to just stop eating anything that's living, even though plants do live and actually apparently feel pain, and to basically become vegetarians because the things that we do is immoral, it's not right, it's unfair on the animals because it's inhumane to be killing things to eat for our sustenance. But it turns out that actually the vegetarians seem to have moved on from that, or maybe it was never the vegetarians to begin with, and in fact it's not them, it's the vegans. And the vegans are a whole nother kettle of fish, shall we say. Now there's been a campaign in the UK made by vegan organisations about trying to get people to adopt a vegan lifestyle, a vegan diet. And of course, this is usually in the guise of an animal rights campaign. And as you'll see here, we have numerous examples of that. And in fact, in one of them, it says ethical dairy farming is a myth, or safe dairy farming is a myth. But of course, it's only a myth if you've got an agenda and you're an ideologue. Now, I don't mind vegans who live and let live. I think they're great people, they are sane, and they understand that you're not going to convert people, nor do they particularly want to convert people. They're doing it for the diet, for the lifestyle, and that's it. They don't want to convert people, they don't want to do anything like that, they just want to live their life the way they see fit, and don't want to force that on other people, and I respect that greatly. However, there is a whole other bunch of vegans, and as we can see, it's not necessarily a minority of them. I could be mistaken, but from what I've seen over the years, it seems to be at least half to almost a majority of them, maybe only slightly, who are crazy and rabid, and the further down you go, the worse they get in terms of how they practice their veganism, how they want to force it onto others, and how they're going to lecture you on how you're wrong about everything that you were taught in school about, one, the human dietary system, how humans are meant to eat things, and, well, just everything else, really. And basically, these people, and there is a lot of crossover, are the feminists and the social justice warriors of food and dieting and animal rights and welfare and stuff like that. Now, these would be the people who will get into debates with you about the ethics of eating meat and the ethics of farming, and they will say that, humans, it's a lie to suggest that they're omnivores. I mean, despite the fact that you can clearly see they've got canines, you've got canines, and you eat meat, and the meat doesn't have any adverse effect on you unless it's not cooked properly. We're pretty much omnivores. We eat anything. We can eat vegetables, we can eat plants, although our organs, when it comes to digesting bark and grass, are pretty much unusable at this point in time. We eat loads of different things. That's our thing. We're omnivores. But they will say we're actually herbivores and we're being lied to, even though we've been eating meat for well over 200,000 years and have done since we first evolved. In fact, we evolved from apes that also ate meat. Now, they wouldn't have eaten meat as much as we have, or even the kind of meat that we eat. They would have most likely eaten termites, or, believe it or not, other apes. Lesser apes, tinier apes. You can see this in the wild. Chimpanzees also eat other monkeys. Likewise, they'll also eat termites and parasites and other things when they're grooming each other. That's just how they eat. But they'll also eat bananas, they'll eat fruit, berries, twigs, all sorts of stuff. They're omnivores. We're omnivores. They're our closest living relatives, and they have a similar diet to us, although they eat more plants than us. So they'll try and convince you with pseudoscience, and then they'll try to convince you about ethics and how eating meat is unethical because you're killing another being, another thing. And you can just say, well, lions and tigers and loads of other animals kill. Do you think that's unethical of them to do so? And they'll say, no, they're just animals. Well, we're animals. We're animals. We kill to survive. We'll kill each other to survive. We'll kill an animal to eat and survive. We don't necessarily need to eat meat all the time, but we still need it as part of a diet in most cases to survive. Most countries around the world need meat to survive. That's what our ancestors needed. It's what we still need to this day. And I don't understand the ethical quandary here. If you need to survive, you have to do whatever it takes, right? Now, the ethical thing, which I do agree with them, is how we kill them. If we're not going to stop eating meat anytime soon, which is we're not, how are we going to kill them? Firstly, I do agree with them. These animals need to live a healthy, free lifestyle where they're not going to be just crowded into factories and all other horrible things where they're just subjected to the most awful treatment. And when the time comes for them to die, it's as painless as possible. And of course, they've had the greatest life that could be possibly given to them. Because if they have a great life, that means a great product. But no, that's not even good enough for these crazy vegans. No, we can't have that. No, we've got to convince people to just be vegans because they want other vegans, essentially. Because they have it in their heads that they're morally superior than us because they eat plants. Even though it's been scientifically proven that plants feel pain, they don't want to be eaten, and fish, funnily enough, don't feel pain. They don't have the neurons capable of doing so. But hey, they're morally superior, even though they're using these morally questionable actions such as shaming people for basically being themselves and doing what they want to do, and saying that they're morally superior because they're vegans. I don't see how that's ethical, but us eating meat is unethical. And it's this authoritarian attitude that really pisses me off. That's what's at the heart of it. They can't seem to live, these particular vegans, with other people eating meat. They have to convert us. They're basically a religion at this point. And you can see it all on YouTube. Vegan Gains, that woman who said that we basically deserve to die, that she was almost like a fascist in the way she said that. That Australian guy, Onision, all these people, this is what they preach. This is what they say, that we're morally unethical people, we're pieces of shit because we eat meat, and we should be vegans because that'll make us better human beings. That'll make us more enlightened human beings. Even though it doesn't. It really doesn't. Because these people are clearly morally amazing. They are great. They're just bastions of virtue, right? I mean, how are they going to stop people from eating meat if they can't convince them through activism and campaigning, which over the last hundreds of years of humans trying to campaign for this shit has proven to be nothing more than a failure? What are they going to do? If they were to, for example, become the establishment, what would they do? You're going to stop people eating meat. Are you going to force them to stop eating meat? Because that seems to be the impression I get from these people. And why is it that they want to convert people? Why is it that they are desperate to campaign to tell people about these things? Usually they use either false statistics or false stories, or will tell lies in order to basically convert people. Why can't you just tell the truth? And in fact, why do they bank on people not knowing where their food comes from? Now, I don't say that there are nobody who doesn't know where their food comes from. Obviously, there are ignorant people out there, but I know where my food comes from. I'm not ignorant of that fact, yet I still choose. I just make sure that the people I'm buying from are ethical and treat their animals' welfare in the highest regard. But no, we have to be ignorant. We have to be shown these things, even if they're not shown in the whole picture, even if they're not shown in the whole truth, as long as they can get more vegans. If that doesn't sound like a religion, converting, I don't know what is. Conversely, I know this is a bit anecdotal, but I was walking through the centre of Manchester, and on one side, in this big centre, in Market Street, there was the Muslim kiosk trying to convert people with big red letters saying, the Quran does not endorse terrorism. And then further down, There were the vegans or the animal rights people. They were probably both. They were also trying to convert people to their cause. Isn't that funny? But ultimately they're playing a losing game. They'll never convince people to not eat meat. They don't have to technically, but they want to, and that's fine. But stop trying to convert people, stop trying to force people, stop trying to make people feel bad for essentially being themselves. You're making other vegans look bad. These crazy vegans are just one of many banes of my life, and I assume your lives as well. So what can we do to deal with these types of people? Well, it's simple. We simply educate them on matters such as the human anatomy, science, logic, and of course, we teach them to be liberal about things, because this authoritarian attitude towards people is not helping their cause at all. In fact, it creates this negative stereotype that most, if not all, vegans are people who are morally uptight and want to control how you live your life, even though we know they're not like that. We know they're not like that. And who knows, maybe if they take cues from the vegetarians who seem to have largely stopped doing this, if at all, and just relax, stop trying to force people, just let them come to it on their own. They're not necessarily the stupidest people on the planet, but hey, that's just my opinion, people. Anyway, people, that's the end of the video. Like and share the video, comment down below, donate to my Patreon, subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I'll see you all later.